Chapter 4. It wasn't long before Jim had a chance to meet Long John Silver. In 2 days he and Dr. Livesey were in Bristol, aboard the Hispaniola. It was almost ready to sail, and Silver was busy in the ship's kitchen, which was called a galley. When he walked in, Jim noticed that the galley was neat and in perfect order. So was Silver. He was a tall, strong man, with a leg cut off at the hip. Under his left arm was a crutch, which he used to help him move about. He hopped over to Jim like a bird and held out his hand, smiling.
"You must be the new cabin boy. I am pleased to meet you."
On his shoulder was a colourful parrot.
"This is Captain Flint,"
said Silver.
"I named him after the famous pirate captain."
"What? Pieces of 8?
The parrot shrieked suddenly. Jim jumped.
"What are pieces of 8?
He asked.
"They are Spanish coins,"
Silver explained.
"Flint robbed many Spanish ships, and he got thousands of Spanish coins."
He laughed and petted the parrot.
"Perhaps Captain Flint here saw some of the treasure. He is over 100 years old and has sailed on many ships. Since I adopted him, however, his life has not been very exciting."
Silver went on to tell Jim of how he served in the Navy, then lost his leg and ended up running an inn just like Jim and his mother did. Jim thought he was the most interesting person he had ever met, and he soon forgot about the one-legged sailor that the captain was so afraid of. After all, Silver was polite and kind, not at all like the rude, dirty pirates who had come to the Benbow. Jim decided he liked Silver very much, and they soon became friends. Finally, Jim left the galley and went to find the squire and the doctor. They were in the dining room talking to the ship's captain, who was a tall, serious man, about 45 years old. His name was Smollett. Captain Smollett and Squire Trelawney seemed to be having an argument.
"I was told the purpose of this voyage was a secret, even from me,"
the captain was saying.
"That's fine. But then I found out that every sailor on this ship has heard that we are going after treasure. They also know that you have a map of an island indicating where the treasure is buried. Are you sure they will stay honest when they know there is so much money at stake?"
"I'm sure I never told anyone about the map,"
said the squire, looking puzzled.
"Maybe you did, maybe you didn't,"
said Captain Smollett.
"However, I will not go on this trip unless you do the following. You must keep all the weapons close to your cabin, along with your servants Joyce and Redruth, and there must be no more talk of treasure with the crew."
I think you're worrying too much.
Said Dr. Livesey.
But we will do as you suggest.
He smiled at Trelawney, who was still angry.
We are lucky to have such a careful and responsible captain.
Captain Smollett didn't smile at the compliment. Instead, he looked at Jim, who was listening.
"What are you doing here standing around?"
he said sharply.
"Go and find some work to do."
As Jim hurried away, he heard Captain Smollett add to Livesey and Trelawney,
"I won't have any favourites aboard my ship."
Jim decided that he disliked Captain Smollett just as much as Squire Trelawney did. But soon he forgot the captain's harsh words. Early the next morning, the Hispaniola lifted anchor and left port. The voyage began well, and even Captain Smollett was pleased with how the ship sailed. The crew was also happy because Squire Trelawney had spent a lot of money buying the very best supplies he could. These included a barrel of apples, as fresh fruit helped keep the crew healthy. Captain Smollett, of course, said that the squire was too friendly with the men and that no good would come of it. But as it turned out, some good did come of the apple barrel. In fact, it helped save the lives of Jim and all the honest men on the ship.